The elderly woman showed up at this college graduation party looking for her first love, and the first love she was looking for turned out to be a college student about to graduate. The young man was startled by the old woman. Then she shoved something into his hands and said,
"Come back to me."
Then the old woman left, looking dejected, as everyone watched. Richard was confused because he had never seen this woman before. He looked down and saw that the object in his hands was a gold pocket watch. It was so intricate that it was clearly no ordinary item. Richard was filled with confusion, but what he didn't know was that out there in the dark of night heading back, the old woman was already in tears. As if she had finally fulfilled her wish, she locked herself in her room, holding an unpublished script, and passed away. In the blink of an eye, 8 years flew by. Richard was no longer the inexperienced student he once was. He had become a famous playwright, and hanging on his wall was his acclaimed masterpiece, the very script the old woman had been holding back then. Recently, Richard had been lacking inspiration, so while out for a walk to clear his head, he unexpectedly came across a small inn. It felt familiar to him, so he decided to stay. He was welcomed by an elderly woman named Thea. She gave him the room with the best view, but just before leaving, he asked curiously,
"Have we ever met before?"
Have we ever... No, I don't think so.
Going downstairs, he came across a museum of memories. The items displayed were all from long ago, making it a perfect place to find inspiration. Then he was drawn to a photo of a woman. Her striking beauty and unique aura captivated him, but when he looked closer, there was no information about her. Richard quickly found Thea, who told him it was a photo of Miss McKenna, who had already passed away. He realized she was much older than him, so Richard went back home to search for clues himself. Finally, he found something in an unremarkable weekly magazine. The moment he saw the photo, he almost gasped, because McKenna in her later years looked exactly like the elderly woman who had handed him the pocket watch at the graduation party 8 years ago. Following the clues from the magazine, Richard tracked down the author, but the woman coldly refused to let him in. With no other choice, Richard showed her the pocket watch. She was stunned, as the watch had gone missing years ago. Eventually, Richard got inside. It turned out the woman was a theater enthusiast. She had collected many items from that era, including McKenna's gowns and personal belongings.
What was she like?
The woman said McKenna had been very cheerful in her youth, but after a performance in 1912, she completely changed. In the corner, Richard spotted a very familiar book about time travel. Its author was his philosophy professor from college. Then he saw a model of the inn where he had stayed a few days ago. It was a music box McKenna had made herself, and the song it played turned out to be Richard's favorite. Richard found it unbelievable. He was certain he must be connected to McKenna somehow, so he immediately went to see the professor, because the professor had once mentioned to him in private that he had conducted a secret experiment on time travel.